I took a slow breath as I walked home, thinking about the wedding menu Emma wanted me to fix again. She's stressing too much, I muttered to myself. But it's fine. I can handle it. I had always believed love meant learning how to carry more than your half. Liam had teased me at lunch. Bro, you're basically married already. You sure you're not working for Emma instead of David? I laughed it off. Emma's just excited. And David's helping me with the promotion. Everything's good. Everything felt good. Perfect even. I kept telling myself that. The ring on Emma's finger meant future. The respect in David's eyes meant growth. I trusted them both more than I trusted myself. When I reached our apartment door, I whispered, I can't wait to tell her the project finished early. I pictured her smile. I imagined her jumping into my arms. But the moment I stepped inside, something felt wrong. Too quiet. Then a soft laugh floated down the hallway. A man's voice. I froze. No, that can't be right, I whispered. I took one step, then another. My heart hammered like it wanted to escape my chest. I heard Emma's voice, low, playful, a tone she never used with me. Then the man spoke again. I knew that voice. I heard it every day at work. David. My throat went dry. I whispered, please, let me be wrong. The bedroom door was half closed. Light leaked through the gap. I pushed it slowly, almost hoping they would hear me so they could stop, pretend, lie, anything but the truth. But the truth didn't wait. I saw Emma's back first, bare, her head thrown back on the pillows. David was on top of her, his hands on her waist, kissing her like she belonged to him. My world cracked. Emma gasped when she saw me. Wait, it's not, baby, listen. David scrambled for the sheets. Man, hold on, let me explain. Explain? I said, but my voice sounded dead. Explain what? Emma covered herself with shaking hands. I swear it's not what you think. It's exactly what I think, I whispered. David raised his hands. Look, we were drunk. You're not drunk right now, I said. Emma crawled toward the edge of the bed. Please, let's talk. Just happened. I didn't mean. You didn't mean to? I stepped back. How long? She burst into tears. I don't know. David cut in. It was a mistake, okay? It doesn't have to change anything at work. I stared at him. My fiancée is in your bed and you're worried about work? He shut his mouth, but the damage was done. I felt my legs shaking. My hands too. I didn't shout. I didn't throw anything. I just felt hollow. Emma reached for me. Please don't leave. We can fix this. I swear I love you. I swear it meant nothing. Nothing, I repeated. The word burned. David whispered, let's calm down. I shook my head. Don't say my name. Don't talk to me. Emma kept crying. Please look at me. Please don't go. But the more she begged, the colder I felt. I wanted to scream, to hit something, to disappear. Instead I whispered, I trusted you. Both of you. David sighed. Man. Shut up, I said. I turned away. My vision blurred, but I forced myself to keep walking. My chest felt tight, like it was crushing itself. As I left the apartment, Emma's voice followed me. Please don't leave. Please. I didn't look back. I couldn't. Everything inside me had already collapsed. Outside, the night air hit my face. I whispered, Liam? I need to call Liam. But my voice cracked, and I knew I wouldn't be the same again after tonight. I stood there on the sidewalk, shaking so hard I almost dropped my phone. The streetlights blurred as if the whole city was crying with me. I whispered to myself, how do I even start explaining this? My fingers hovered over Liam's contact. I knew he'd answer no matter the time. I knew he'd ask what happened, and I didn't know if I could get the words out without breaking again. I kept hearing their voices, their breaths, their lies. I felt like my life had been peeled open in one violent moment. Finally, I hit call, praying my voice wouldn't die before he picked up. I prayed he would understand because I barely understood myself. Liam opened the door before I even knocked. Man, you look dead, he said quietly. I just need a place, I whispered. Yeah, get in. You don't have to explain anything yet. I dropped my bag on the floor and sat on his couch. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. I can't go back there, I said. You don't have to, he replied. Stay as long as you want. I can't sleep, I murmured. Every time I close my eyes, I see them. Liam sat beside me. Talk to me, man. Say something. I don't know what to say, I whispered. How do I even begin? You start by breathing. After that, you tell me what happened. I walked in, I said. I saw them. That's all. Liam's jaw tightened. Both of them? Yeah. He cursed under his breath. And she tried to talk her way out? She said it meant nothing, I said, forcing a bitter laugh. Nothing. You don't deserve this, Liam said. None of it. I feel stupid, I whispered. Like I should have seen something. Don't do that. You trusted her. That's not a weakness. I leaned forward, holding my head. I can't eat. I can't think. My chest hurts constantly. You just got hit by the worst kind of betrayal, he said. Your mind needs time. My phone buzzed again. Emma's name flashed on the screen for the 5th time that morning. Liam groaned. You want me to block her? No, I said. I just can't hear her voice right now. You shouldn't have to, he said. She made her choice. I keep asking myself if she ever loved me, I whispered. Or if she was just waiting for something better. There's nothing better than loyalty, Liam said. And she threw that away. I nodded slowly, though nothing felt real yet. When morning came, I dragged myself into work. I kept my head down, hoping nobody would look at me long enough to notice how broken I felt. David stood near the meeting table, laughing with 2 managers. Laughing. Like he didn't destroy everything I had. He glanced at me briefly, then looked away as if I were invisible. My stomach turned. How can he act so normal? I muttered under my breath. Jenny from accounting walked by. Hey, you okay? You look pale. I'm fine, I said quickly. You sure? Yeah. Just tired. The lie tasted bitter. In the break room, I heard David's voice behind me. There he is, he said loudly. Our project hero. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. He kept going. Hope you're ready for another big week. My jaw tightened. Don't talk to me, I said. He chuckled. Rough morning? I clenched my fist. Stop pretending nothing happened. He lowered his voice. What do you think people will believe? A senior manager or you? I said nothing. If I spoke, I'd explode. Before I could walk away, someone tapped my shoulder. Excuse me, a woman said. Are you Alex? Yeah, I said. I'm Sarah from HR, she said. I need to talk to you. My heart sank. About what? She led me to a small office. We received a report that you misplaced or deleted several internal files from last week. What? I said. No, I didn't delete anything. Well, she said carefully, David says the files were under your responsibility. I stared at her. He's lying. Sarah sighed softly. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I just need to ask. He set me up, I said. He's trying to push me out. Do you have proof? She asked. Proof. That word stabbed me. No, I said quietly. Not yet. Well, she said, we'll review everything. You're not in trouble right now, but the missing files put us in a difficult position. I nodded, though fury drowned out every rational thought. When she left, I leaned back and whispered, he's destroying my life piece by piece. My phone buzzed again. Another voicemail from Emma. Liam texted me, answering her won't help. Focus on you. I typed back, she keeps saying it meant nothing. Liam replied, she's lying to herself. Don't let her drag you down. I stared at the screen, feeling a fire slowly growing under all the pain. Emma betrayed me. David betrayed me. And now he was trying to get me fired. I whispered to myself, they planned this. They wanted a future together. And I was in the way. For the first time since that night, the shaking in my hands stopped. I stood, looked at myself in the mirror and said quietly, I can't keep breaking. I need to stand up. The anger didn't scare me anymore. It steadied me. It woke me up. This ends, I said aloud. One way or another. And that was the moment I stopped being weak. I sat on Liam's couch, staring at the engagement ring in my hand. Its sparkle felt like a cruel joke. I bought this for her, I muttered, voice shaking. And she threw it away, for him. Liam leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Holding it won't fix anything. I know, I whispered, but it's all I have left of what I thought was real. You're letting her control your mind, Liam said. Don't. That's power she doesn't deserve. I gritted my teeth. I'm done letting them walk over me. I won't be a victim anymore. Careful, Liam warned. Revenge changes people. It chews them up. So does betrayal, I snapped. And I've already been chewed. He didn't argue. He just nodded like he already knew how deep it went. My phone buzzed. Emma. Again. I flipped it face down. I need to see everything clearly. No excuses. No lies. I opened my laptop, pulling up the screenshots of her texts with David. She laughed at me, planned secret meetings, promised him everything. This is deliberate, I muttered. Every word. Liam winced. That's cold. Calculated, I corrected. They used me like I didn't exist. And I'm done pretending it was a mistake. Next, I opened the folder of photos from the night I caught them. Her bare back. His hands all over her. The look of guilt twisting into anger when she realized I had proof. My stomach turned. You don't have to relive it, Liam said softly. I do, I said. If I'm going to move forward, I need the truth burned into me. Then I opened another folder, David's corrupt dealings. Forged invoices, missing transfers, manipulative reports. I thought exposing him would ruin Emma too, I whispered. But she never cared if I got hurt. So what's the plan? Liam asked, voice low. To show everyone exactly who they are, I said. No lies. No filters. Let the truth speak. And that'll heal you? He asked. I paused, throat tight. I don't know. Sitting here doing nothing is killing me. I need action. Liam leaned closer. Talk to me. Really talk. I swallowed. For months I defended her. Made excuses. Told myself she was stressed, distant, overwhelmed. The truth? I was scared. Scared she'd stop loving me. Scared everyone else already knew what I didn't. That's hard to admit, he said. And harder to accept, I replied. When I saw them, it wasn't just betrayal. It was confirmation. Proof I wasn't enough for her. That's not your fault, Liam insisted. It feels like it, I said quietly. But tonight something snapped. Not destructively. More like clarity. Clarity? Yes, I said. Breaking isn't always the end. Sometimes it's a turning point. Liam nodded slowly. So you're choosing to fight back. I'm choosing myself, I said. If revenge comes with it, fine. If healing does, fine. But I won't let them dictate my life anymore. Promise me one thing, he said. Don't lose yourself chasing payback. I stared at the ring one last time. I already lost who I was the moment they broke me. Everything after is a new version. Someone stronger. And this someone, Liam said, is about to shake things up. Yeah, I breathed. Tomorrow David's corruption comes out. Every shady deal, every lie. And Emma, she'll learn the truth at the same time he does. No more protecting people who never protected you, I said, sliding the ring into my pocket. Liam exhaled. Then let's get ready. I stood, feeling something I hadn't felt in weeks. Control. Not revenge yet, not satisfaction, but power returning. My chest no longer ached with helplessness. Ready for tomorrow? Liam asked. I am, I said. It's the first day I stop being a victim. The first day I choose myself. He gave me a small smile. Good. Because this isn't just a confrontation. This is your turning point. I nodded, staring out the window at the dark city. For the first time, the future looked like mine, not theirs. No more lies. No more betrayal. No more weakness. I was done breaking. I was done waiting. I was ready to rise. I sat in Liam's apartment, staring at my laptop, hands trembling. This is it, I muttered. No going back. Liam peered over my shoulder. You really going to send it? Yes, I said. Every file. Every transaction. Every lie David hid. Anonymous? He asked. I nodded. They won't know it came from me. Not yet. Liam frowned. You sure you're ready for the fallout? I'm done waiting, I said. He took everything from me. Now it's time to even the field. I hit send. The email zipped through, flagged as urgent to the upper management. My stomach twisted, but a strange relief washed over me. Within minutes, whispers started around the office. People glanced at me oddly, some avoiding eye contact, others smirking as if they sensed the storm. David appeared from his office, smiling too wide. Alex, you busy? Not anymore, I said quietly. He laughed, but it didn't reach his eyes. Something in him shifted, tension creeping into his movements. I saw it. The man who always acted untouchable now looked nervous. He muttered to himself, this can't be real. I leaned back, sipping my coffee. It's real, I whispered. And it's just beginning. The next hour, my phone buzzed constantly. Emma. I ignored her. Then the knocks came, soft, frantic. I opened the door. She was standing there, tear-streaked, arms shaking. Alex, please, we need to talk, she pleaded. I stepped aside. Come in. She sank onto the couch. It's him. David. He manipulated me. I didn't want this. It was a mistake. I still love you. I stared at her. You still love me? I said slowly, voice flat. You slept with him. You betrayed me. I know, she sobbed. I made a huge mistake. You made a mistake, I said. He made it a choice. You chose him. You chose to destroy what we had. She buried her face in her hands. I was weak. I was stupid. Please, Alex. I shook my head. Too late. Her lips quivered. I can fix it. I'll do anything. You can't, I said quietly. The damage is done. Nothing you say can undo it. She looked up, desperation in her eyes. But I love you. I turned away, staring at the city outside the window. Love doesn't undo betrayal, I whispered. Her phone rang. She jumped. It's him, she said, panic rising. David, he's gone. He abandoned me. I felt a cold satisfaction creeping in. Karma had begun. And now you know, I said. The one you thought would protect you won't. Emma's shoulders slumped. Alex, please? I shook my head again. I can't anymore. She left without another word, leaving the apartment as silent as the night outside. The next day at work, the investigation had begun. David, pale and restless, tried to pin everything on Emma. It's her idea, he hissed to anyone who would listen. She manipulated me. People stopped listening, realizing the absurdity. The whispers turned louder. Did you hear? He's losing it. He's panicking. I watched from my desk, feeling the tension I had carried for weeks finally shift. His power, once absolute, was crumbling. During a break, I got a text from an unknown number. Meet me. Office 15B. No, Mark. Curiosity mixed with caution. I had no idea who this Mark was, but something told me it was connected to the leak I sent. I whispered to Liam, I'm going. I need to know what he wants. Be careful, he said. Don't let him trick you. I nodded. I've learned that lesson. No one gets a free pass anymore. I walked through the empty hallway, heart hammering. Each step felt like crossing a threshold. By the time I reached the office, I was ready. Mark stood there, mid-40s, calm but intense. Alex, he said, extending a hand. I know what you did, and I want to help. Help? I repeated, suspicion in my voice. Yes, he said. David's gone too far. You've given us the evidence we need. Let's make sure he can't recover. I felt the first true spark of hope in weeks. You mean, we can finish this? We can, he said. And you'll come out stronger. But you need to be smart. I clenched my fist. I'm ready. I won't fail. Walking out of that office, I felt the shift in the air. David's empire was cracking. Emma was already paying the price of her mistakes. And I was no longer a victim. For the first time since that night, I felt the balance of power tilt back in my favor. And this was just the beginning. I met Mark in a small, private conference room. He gestured for me to sit. Alex, I've gone through everything you sent. This is bigger than we thought. I told you, I said, voice firm. David's been using everyone, manipulating, lying, covering tracks. He thought I wouldn't see. You saw, Mark said, nodding. And now we can act. But I need your cooperation. Whatever you need, I replied. I want him gone. I want justice. Good, Mark said. We'll protect you. You won't be targeted for this. You'll help us uncover all his misconduct. You'll have power, Alex, the kind you've been robbed of. A strange weight lifted off me. For the first time since that night, I felt in control. I could walk through the office without hiding. I could hold my head up. I returned to the main floor, passing coworkers who whispered, eyes flicking toward me. I didn't flinch. Jenny caught my gaze and gave a small smile. She'd been quiet before, wary of David's influence, but now she nodded, silently supporting me. David sat in his office, door slightly open, acting calm. His fingers drummed on the desk. Alex, he said smoothly when I passed, we need to talk. I ignored him. His eyes flicked to mine, fear barely contained behind the mask. I saw it, his empire trembling. The phone rang. Emma. I hesitated but answered. Alex, please. I'm lost, she said, voice breaking. Everyone knows. My friends, they hate me. My family, disappointed. He blocked me. David left me. I listened silently, saying nothing. Her words were meant to tug at me, but they hit empty air. I felt nothing but cold emptiness. Alex, please, she whispered. I need you. I can't, I said. It's too late. The line went silent except for her sobs. I hung up and placed the phone on my desk. No comfort, no excuses, just silence. Later, Mark appeared, leaning against the doorway. We need to dig deeper. More accounts, more transfers, anything David tried to hide. I nodded. I already have a few leads, I said, opening my laptop. There's a pattern. He's sloppy once you know what to look for. Mark smiled. You're not just a whistleblower, Alex. You're a key player now. Your role here just changed. I realized he was right. The tables had turned. I wasn't the target anymore. I was someone important. Someone who could protect the company, protect the truth, and make sure David couldn't manipulate anyone again. Jenny came over, dropping a folder on my desk. These are additional reports I found, she said softly. David tried to hide them, but I double-checked. Thought you should see. Thanks, I said, feeling a strange bond form with her. Allies mattered more than I'd realized. As the day wore on, David grew more anxious. He tried to maintain control, calling meetings, barking orders, but every glance from colleagues made him shrink. I saw him in the hallway, whispering, glancing at me, and his confident mask cracked. At one point, I overheard him muttering to a manager, "This can't be happening. It's all wrong." I smiled faintly. That fear was satisfying, but I didn't celebrate. This was about justice, not petty revenge. By afternoon, Mark called me into the conference room again. "Alex, we've recommended suspension," he said. "David won't have access while the investigation continues. We need time to ensure the company is safe." "Suspended?" I repeated. "Yes," Mark said. "Your evidence is solid. He's lost his credibility. He'll face consequences and you'll remain protected. But we need you to keep gathering intel." I nodded. "I will. I'm done being weak." "You've changed the power dynamics," Mark said. "People see you differently now. You walk taller. They listen." I leaned back, realizing he was right. Coworkers no longer glanced at me with suspicion or pity. They respected me cautiously at first, but respect nonetheless. I wasn't the broken man anymore. I was someone with influence, someone who mattered. Jenny smiled from across the office. I nodded. Her silent support was a reminder that I wasn't alone. David's suspension was the first real victory. Karma, justice, and planning converged into one moment. Emma's loss, David's fall, and my newfound position all aligned perfectly. As I watched the office hum with activity, I whispered to myself, "The power has shifted. I'm no longer at the mercy of anyone." For the first time in months, I felt untouchable, not arrogant, not cruel, but steady. And I knew this was only the beginning. The doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone, yet somehow, I knew it would be her. I opened the door. Emma stood there, eyes red, hair messy, lips trembling. "Alex," she whispered. I stepped aside. "Come in." She sank onto the couch, shoulders shaking. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you like this. Please forgive me." I stared at her, feeling 1,000 memories crash at once. The dinners we shared, the laughs, the promises, the betrayal, the heartbreak. "I forgive you," I said slowly. "But forgiveness doesn't mean I take you back. It doesn't erase what happened." Her face fell. You mean that?" "Yes," I said. "I've changed. I've learned that love doesn't excuse betrayal. It doesn't fix broken trust." Tears streamed down her cheeks. I thought we had something real. I was stupid, selfish, blind. I don't even know who I was anymore. "You'll figure that out," I said quietly. "But it won't be with me." She buried her face in her hands, sobbing. "I lost everything. Friends, my family, and him," she whispered, referring to David. "He left me. I have no one." I stayed silent, letting her words hang in the air. No anger, no comfort, just quiet truth. The old me would have held her, whispered that it would be okay. The new me? I stood firm, strong. "I needed to see you," she whispered. "I wanted closure. To tell you I was wrong. That I'm sorry." "You told me," I said. "That's enough." She shook, struggling to stand. "Alex, I'll never forget you." "Neither will I admitted. "But that's not the same as going back." She nodded, swallowing. "I understand," she said, voice breaking. "Goodbye, Alex." I watched her leave, feeling the old weight lift slightly. Later that day, David called me into his office. I stepped inside cautiously. "Alex," he said, eyes cold, "I suggest you drop this. You don't want to make things worse for yourself." I reached into my pocket and hit record on my phone. "I'm listening," I said evenly. His eyes flicked to my hand. "What are you doing?" "Recording," I said. "Every word. So make sure your threats are worth it." He froze. "You wouldn't dare." "I already did," I said. And it changes everything. He swallowed hard, panic overtaking his arrogance. This isn't over. You'll regret this. I stood, calm, eyes steady. No, David. This is over. You're done. The fear in him was palpable. I walked out of that office feeling an unfamiliar sense of power but not satisfaction, control, clarity, and the finality of justice. Back at Liam's apartment, I sank onto the couch. It's strange, I said quietly. The pain is still there, but it doesn't weigh me down anymore. I remember the betrayal, the heartbreak, but it doesn't define me. Liam nodded. You've grown, Alex. You found strength instead of breaking apart. I remember everything, I said. The nights I cried, the days I couldn't eat, the hopelessness. But I also remember the anger, the clarity, the fire that pushed me to act. He leaned back. And now, I said, I'm free. Not because they suffered, not because karma struck, but because I chose to rise. I chose myself. The office called later. Mark was on the line. Alex, the investigation concluded. David has been terminated permanently. He'll face legal consequences as well. Your evidence was airtight. I exhaled, a mix of relief and quiet triumph. Good. He deserved it. More importantly, Mark said, you handled this with integrity. You could have gone rogue, but you didn't. You protected the company and yourself. I smiled faintly. I couldn't let my pain dictate my actions. That's the difference. Hanging up, I looked around Liam's apartment. The apartment that had been my refuge. The space where I learned I could survive, fight, and grow. The betrayal still stung, but it no longer controlled me. I was not broken anymore. I was someone stronger. Someone who understood pain, loss, and justice. And I knew that when I walked back into the office tomorrow, I would be unshakable. David was gone. Emma was gone. But I remained. I remained whole. I remained me. And that was enough. David called. Again. I let it ring, ignored it, feeling nothing. Finally, curiosity got the better of me and I answered. Alex, please, stop this, he pleaded. You don't understand what you're doing. You're destroying my life. I sat back, voice calm. David, the moment you touched what wasn't yours, the moment you betrayed everyone who trusted you, you destroyed your own life. I didn't create this mess. You did. No, you can't. I can, I interrupted. But it's not me. It's the truth. Everything is falling apart because of what you chose, not because of me. There was silence. Then a shaky voice. I didn't think it would get this far. Neither did I admitted. But that's how choices work. You can't take them back. You have to face them. I've lost everything, he said, almost whispering. My wife, my friends, my career, everything. And you're still standing there, calm like it's nothing. I am calm, I said. Because I stopped letting people like you control my life. You lost power when you lost your integrity. I'm just watching the consequences catch up to you. He groaned, heavy with defeat. Alex, please. I can make it right. You can't, I said. Not with me, not with the people you hurt. It's too late for that. The line went quiet except for the sound of his shallow breaths. I hung up, feeling no satisfaction, no malice. Just clarity. He had brought this on himself. Not long after, Emma sent a message. I didn't expect it, and honestly, I didn't care to reply. But I opened it. Alex, I wish I could undo everything. I wish I made different choices. I lost my job, my friends, my family is disappointed. I'm sorry, truly. I read it, felt no anger, no longing, no regret that pulled at me. Just a calm understanding. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. I didn't hate her anymore, but I didn't need her either. The difference was striking. Where I once would have fallen apart, blamed myself, begged for explanations, now I felt free. Her message was a closure of sorts. She faced consequences, yes, but she had to live with them herself. That was enough. Days passed. At work, whispers continued about David. No one defended him. His phone calls went unanswered. His colleagues avoided him. His reputation, painstakingly built over years, was gone in weeks. Emma tried reaching out one more time, stopping at a voicemail. Alex, please. I'm trying. I deleted it without listening. I didn't need to hear her voice. The old me would have agonized over her words. The new me? I let it disappear silently. Jenny smiled from across the office, a quiet reminder that loyalty and integrity mattered more than betrayal. Liam's text popped up. Proud of you. You handled this the right way. I typed back a short reply. Thanks. Feels good to be free. No one else mattered. David at his lowest, Emma at hers. Karma had played its part, and I had survived it, risen above it. I walked through the office, head high, chest steady. The whispers weren't about my failure or heartbreak anymore. They were about the calm I carried, the strength I radiated. People stopped looking at me with pity. They looked with respect. Quiet admiration, maybe even a little fear. But I didn't care. I cared only that I had chosen myself first. At home, I looked in the mirror. The man staring back was different from the one who had walked out that night months ago. The betrayal, the heartbreak, the injustice, they had shaped me, sharpened me, but not broken me. I remembered Emma's pleading face, David's panicked eyes. Neither could control me anymore. Neither had power over my heart, my mind, my life. For the first time, I truly understood freedom. Not the freedom from others, but the freedom from being ruled by pain, regret, or betrayal. I picked up my phone and typed a note to myself, live. Choose yourself. Never forget, but never be trapped. I sent it to no one. It was for me alone. David's career was finished. His family left. His friends abandoned him. Emma lost everything meaningful in her world too. I watched from a distance, untouched by hatred, untouched by longing. I felt the weight lift off my chest, lighter than it had been in months. And I knew this was the final closure I needed. No vengeance needed. No messages. No confrontation. Just the natural consequence of their choices. I didn't celebrate. I simply breathed. The storm had passed. And I had survived it stronger than ever. I was free. I was whole. I was ready for whatever came next. I walked into the office on my first day in the new role, heart steady, chest light. Mark greeted me with a firm handshake. Alex, welcome. You earned this. Thanks, I said, voice calm. Feels good to start fresh. Jenny appeared with a warm smile. Ready to take charge? I nodded. I am. Feels like I'm finally in control again. At my desk, I organized files, updated reports, and felt a strange peace settle over me. The whispers of the past, the betrayals, the heartbreak, the endless tension were gone. I didn't seek them out anymore. David's downfall, Emma's regrets, karma, they had played their part. I had nothing left to prove. Later, I stepped out to the park near my apartment. The sun was dipping low, painting the sky orange. I sat on a bench, hands clasped, thinking. Love can blind you, I reflected. It can make you trust when you shouldn't, forgive when you shouldn't. I thought Emma was my everything, but she was only part of a lesson I had to learn. Betrayal can destroy a person, strip away confidence, make you question every choice. I felt that pain fully, and yet I survived. I whispered to myself, I didn't just survive. I grew. I learned what I'm worth. Liam jogged up and sat beside me. You look different, he said, a small grin on his face. Stronger, I said simply. The storm passed and I'm still standing. Maybe not the same man I was, but better. He nudged me lightly. Better, huh? You're also smiling more. Living more. Don't forget that part. Jenny joined us carrying 2 coffees. He's right, she said, handing me one. You've earned the right to enjoy life again. Don't let fear or pain hold you back. I took the coffee, warmth in my hands. It's strange. I used to think happiness was tied to them, to fixing things, to revenge. Now I see it's just me, choosing myself, living my life without the shadows of what they did. Liam leaned back, hands behind his head. And, are you ready to try trusting again? I chuckled softly, feeling the tension leave my chest. Maybe, slowly, carefully. But yes, I think I'm ready. Jenny smiled, eyes soft. It's a start, and you don't have to rush it. The important part is that you survived, you're whole, and you know your strength. I nodded, looking at the sky. The wind brushed my face and it felt like freedom. I don't look for them anymore. Their chapters are over. Their mistakes, their regrets. I leave those behind. I only carry what makes me stronger now. Silence settled over us, peaceful, unforced. I watched people in the park, couples laughing, children running, life moving forward. And I felt a quiet satisfaction. Not from revenge. Not from justice served. But from standing tall after everything. Alex, Liam said quietly, sometimes the loudest revenge isn't shouting or proving a point. Sometimes it's this. Living well. Rising quietly. Letting the world see you're unbroken. I smiled, letting his words sink in. Yeah, sometimes the quiet rise after the storm is enough. Jenny nodded. Exactly. And you've already done that. You've built a life that isn't dependent on anyone else's choices. That's freedom. I looked down at my hands, then out at the park. The pain, the betrayal, the heartbreak. They were parts of me, but they no longer controlled me. I had walked through fire and emerged intact, stronger, aware of my worth, aware of my limits, aware of what I could overcome. I took a deep breath. I've survived the worst moment of my past, I said to myself. And now, I walk forward on my own terms. Liam and Jenny stood with me, two silent supporters in a world that once felt cruel and unfair. I didn't need them to fight my battles, but their presence reminded me I wasn't alone. I stood, feeling the grass under my shoes, the cool evening air, the light fading but still warm. For the first time in months, I felt completely at peace. "Let's go," I said, voice steady. "Time to live my life. No ghosts. No regrets. Just me and what I choose to build." Liam and Jenny smiled, falling in step beside me. As we walked away from the park, I realized something important. Revenge isn't always loud. Karma doesn't need to announce itself. Sometimes, the quiet rise, the careful rebuilding of your own life, is all the justice you need. And I had found it. I was free. I was strong. I was ready for the life I chose for myself.